Hey guys, we are going to be doing something a little bit different today, but before I get into explaining what we're doing and why, I am going to start the run. Because I have to hit that, and then I have to hit the timer, and let's go. So, I was thinking about Age of Empires 4. And the game, when I played through the campaign, I was kind of lukewarm on it. I thought that the Norman campaign of it was pretty solid, and the others had some major issues. So as I was thinking about it, I was like, wait, the major issue with this campaign is that it is pretty buggy, right? So the AI is pretty manipulatable and abusable, which can be pretty bad for creating a very interesting RTS campaign in general, but that is perfect for speedrunning. So I decided, you know what? This is a new game. There's basically been no routing for it. Why don't I do it? I've never actually gotten to be the one that gets to route out runs before. When I learned StarCraft and all that kind of stuff, the game had already been out for so long. I started speedrunning in 2020 for a game that came out in 2010. Even Legacy of the Void came out in 2015, so it had been out for 5 years at that point. And then over the last day and a half or so, I've just been routing out the various missions of this campaign. I looked at the times on speedrun.com that people had, but I didn't look at their strats. I just tried to come up with what I thought was the best way to do stuff. And honestly, I've been having a pretty good time, so I wanted to do a full run of this, show you the stuff that I came up with, because one thing I noticed when I was doing the routing is that every defense mission in this campaign has an alternate win condition, and that really excited me. Because that's like the most important thing in an RTS speedrun, is the ability to ignore defense missions. So what we're doing in this first mission is that there are various waves of stuff that we have to kill. So we're going to do that. First, the shield guys come out. Once they're dead, we got the archers. Once the spearmen are all dead, we are going to get access to our horsies. And then once their archers are dead, we can kill the king. And that's how we're going to blitz through the mission, is just make sure that we focus all the individual units. There's not a whole lot you can do here besides have good positioning in micro-world. There's an invisible wall right here that you can't actually go past, which is a bit of a pain in the butt. It's not the greatest mission, but most speedrun RTS first missions aren't, so it's not like I'm holding it against. One thing that's important to do is use Duke William himself as a piece of cannon fodder. He's got a lot of armor, he's got a lot of HP, and heroes in this game are ridiculously overpowered in that when they die, their corpse just sits there. And if you click it once, he revives at full HP, which is, it's basically infinite tanking if you can get him. Like, watch. Oh, he's back. It's no cost, no time, no nothing. It's just free damage absorption. So I'm going to try to make use of that whenever I can. We're very close to getting all of the... There we go. Gotta pull back, wait for more spearmen to spawn. We're just farming them at this point as they spawn in, try to let them do as little damage as possible. We are very close to the end of this mission. And then we'll be able to actually do the exciting stuff. This mission I found is kind of inconsistent in the amount of time that it takes. I don't really understand all the triggers involved, but this farming spearman part it's kind of meh. I probably shouldn't have used that ability. I wanted to save it for targeting down the king once he becomes available, but there we go. The cavalry are ready.
William's cavalry was free to charge at the Anglo-Saxon archers,
Which means we can actually start diving stuff, take down all the archers, and then we will be able to kill the king. Not the greatest time, but I am doing this more as a showcase of the things that I've learned, not like as a super great time. There we go. Now we can target this bad boy. I think the best time I ever got was like a 408. Maybe I'm misremembering. I'm not really writing them down. I've only done this mission a couple of times because it's super simple. I don't really understand the triggers because it's just not the most exciting. We target down the king and the mission ends like 30 seconds after that. It takes a long time.
The last of Harold's men encircled their king. Prepared
So if I
lay down
wanted
their
to make that
lives
faster, what I
to
should have
save
done
us.
is the attack speed buff. I should have waited. It lasts for 15 seconds, which is a very long time.
Anglo-Saxon King Harold had fallen.
All in all, fine mission though. Oh, maybe it was 508 was my time last time.
While others
That seems a little bit
in panic.
more likely. I'm gonna have to remember to do my splits. So some of the guys run away, and it eventually, there we go. And we will move on to York next. And this is where the run really gets started. And things, I found that there's a lot of various mission triggers, and a lot of them are completely skippable or sequenceable in whichever way you want, or breakable. It's actually really nice.
At the back,
So there's one of the things about Age of Empires 4 is the macro is very slow. We won't actually have to macro very much in this run. There's only a couple missions that you actually do, and I think the longest mission is like 10 minutes, which is pretty neat. This whole run is going to be done in about an hour, hopefully. There's definitely some strategies that I know how to do, but I'm not entirely clear on the micro. I don't play much Age of Empires 4. So,
he would take the towns
okay,
back
first things
by
first
force.
is the way this mission goes is that there's 2 different towns, and once you clear the defenders of each town, you get that respective town, and that's really, really useful. Once you get both of them, you get a set of reinforcements, and then you can go macro up and fight the castle of York to finish it off. We're not going to do that. We're going to clear the defenders of this first area. We're going to use the attack speed buff. It's got a 90-second cooldown, so you got to be very tactical when you do it. There's not going to be many opportunities per mission. The reason that we're clearing this town is because there is a group of defenders on a bridge over here, or it's just a river crossing, I guess. But they all pull back to the second town, or not all of them, but all but one group of archers pull back to the second town if
establishing their
you
presence in the north.
clear out this town. If you don't, they just sit over here, and it's actually harder than taking the town, and it
William
takes
would
more
need
time.
More resources to supply them.
So now that we've pushed all their reinforcements to the town, we're just not going to go to that town, and we're going to go win the mission instead. Siege up York with a... Oh, crap. Yeah, you don't want this. So the villagers are trying to retreat to the town as well, and I just made a mistake, and all my guys started going to the villagers instead of engaging the archers. I took some damage I
Another
shouldn't
rebel
have.
town, Fulford.
The target priority in this game doesn't work like it does in StarCraft. They really like murdering workers and stuff and buildings, so you got to be very careful with your units. What I'm doing right here is the faster horsemen are taking down the retreating archers because they're going where I'm going. And then everything is dead and the horses can catch up. One thing that we did there was you get 9 villagers to, do some villaging stuff. And we're just pulling the boys. We were playing the English in this campaign, and one of the things the English have is they get buffed workers that instead of having a really bad shank attack, have a really average bow attack. So pulling the boys is pretty good with them because the workers might be super vulnerable, but they're doing damage. This is the town that we're bypassing right here. We just sneak on past it, and we head up. This is not the road we want. We actually have to get over here. There's going to be a couple more groups of units that we have to take out, and then we will get to the York Castle. I want Henry or William or whoever this is in the front. It's William. And I'm not going to use his ability just yet. Oops. Oh yeah, 5 villagers chopped on wood. That's exactly what I meant to do.
William's ultimate goal
Ignore this
was within
tower.
his grasp. All that remained
Try not
was
to lose
enter
stuff.
York and destroy its keep.
Villager. Ooh. Don't want that. I forgot about this group. Oh no. I need to keep these villagers alive. They're kind of important. Not like super duper important, but a little bit. Here, get these guys forward. Now the entrance to the keep is right over here. It's a double layered wall. But what we're going to do is we're going to walk the army past here. It's going to pull these forces, and then our bow villagers are going to actually engage. That way we can slip the entire army past here. Now we can ignore these double layered walls. The spearmen are all going to be over here. And we're just going to burn down this single wall. Try to get William in the front because he's a good tank. Though it makes it hard to target the walls sometimes. Oh, there we go. And we want to charge in, and as soon as we start hitting, we're going to activate the attack speed upgrade, and we should be able to burn down York Castle before our army dies. Easy peasy. Gonna be ready to split. Nice. I don't know when to do my splits, I just kind of do it as it starts to fade out. I don't think it matters that much because I'm not doing individual level stuff. And this is also the first time I've done a full run, so I haven't actually done my split stuff. And I don't know what hotkeys exist in the game, so I have my split on a very weird button. I have it on print screen, so I actually have to take my hand off of the keyboard and go find it. Obviously, if I were to speedrun this more, I would put it somewhere more accessible. I don't know the hotkeys. You'll see that when I get to the macro missions, it'll be really funny. Alright, Bayeux is next. Bayeux is a pretty fun one. This is where we learn how to do siege warfare. Well, normally. We're not going to siege warfare anything this time. Alright, let's go. So what do we do here? We get the palings upgrade that lets our our archers drop a bunch of sticks. We're not going to do that. We're going to have our boy tank instead. This one, Henry has an armor aura instead of a attack speed aura. It's not nearly as good, but it will be somewhat useful. And it's only armor against melee attacks, which makes it a lot less useful in some places. So after we kill all of these horsemen, we are going to get a group of reinforcements. And we're going to start heading over here. So we get the reinforcements right here. Lags the game a little bit. We just gotta wait with these guys. So we want the archers hotkeyed, we want the spearmen's hotkeyed, and the scouts hotkeyed. We're doing melee stuff in group 1, ranged stuff in group 2. That is because melee stuff does really good damage against buildings, and ranged units do basically no damage against buildings unless they have the incendiary arrows upgrade, which we don't. So the way this mission normally works is that you go up to this hill, you defend some stuff, and then you have to go find a base to siege. You have to like build up a bunch of siege weapons and breach through these walls, etc., etc. No, we're not going to do that. Oh, they found us. That's not good. Oh, this is really bad. This is the worst of both worlds. So we're going to have to fight all these at the same time. That was a big mistake on my part. I've avoided them before, but not well enough, I guess. Pull the archers forward. So, all stone walls are immune to everything except for siege weapons, but stone gates are not. Theoretically, all these defenses should be enough to stop me from getting in, but they just aren't. So I'm going to use the archers to provide covering fire for all the stuff while all of my melee starts to burn down this gate, and then we're going to dive in and torch the city without actually macroing anything or building siege units. Well, there's a spearman over here. He needs to be helping. So we need to get our archers a little bit split up into 2 different control groups because we have to destroy the city's buildings and defenders. So the archers are going to be hunting down defenders, and the melee are going to be torching stuff. First thing that I want to do is head over here. Those guys are going to be bowing stuff, whatever. Nothing I can do against it. So here's the first group of defenders. And then here comes another group, that's good. And once we kill the defenders around here, we are going to have to split our forces. Whoa! You were not shift queued properly. Guys, go fight this. Units in Age of Empires don't always, like, listen to your commands. I've kind of found this. I think in, like, skirmish mode, they're better about it, but in the campaign specifically, they seem to not really care what you have to say sometimes, which is a bit weird. I think it's because the campaign works on a different patch than the actual live version of the game. Alright, so I've dealt with these guys. We're going to head over here now. Here. The shift queue seems to be working with these guys now. The torching is going well. Split. Kill the units. You can see that we're ahead in killing the defenders. For killing buildings, you actually have to do a certain amount of damage to the buildings is what I've found. You don't actually have to kill them all, and it seems like only specific buildings count, so you can't like target down a bunch of houses. But it's not like you have to torch the entire town or something. For units, on the other hand, I'm pretty sure you have to clear the entire place of every defending unit, and they're all on a bunch of patrols. So finding them can be a little bit difficult. Eventually, that's one of those things you just be able to memorize, but I don't got time for that. I don't care that much. I'm just doing this for fun, you know? I have one guy that's in 2 control groups, and it's really messing up his life. There we go. So I think there's nothing over here. We're going to head this way to investigate. You need to keep torching. There's 3 more buildings, and then they will be done. And then head up here. There we go. That's a nice little group of guys. I'm hoping this is the end of it. There's a couple of villagers over there. I don't know if they count. I'm pretty sure they don't, because that would be weird. This is not the end of the defenders, is it? There's this guy. Oh. Here's a couple more. So we're going to hit the armor so that we don't... There we go. The buildings have been technically cleared. We can finish off these last 4 guys, and that should be the end of this mission. Please? There we go. Perfect. Bayou has been destroyed. Completely razed to the ground. Alright, next mission. Yeah, that wasn't quite... I had a couple times where I was like trying to hunt down one rogue spearman, and it was just miserable. It was pretty funny. Alright, let's keep going.
While Bayeux burned, King Henry pressed his...
So next is the place that I'm not going to try to pronounce because it will be very offensive to people. Not because it's like some illicit word or something, but anybody that lives in the United Kingdom would be like, that's not how you pronounce it. Yeah. I guess. Yeah. I don't... These words are confusing. Normandy is a weird place, even if it's in France. Alright, so this one's a pretty fun one. What we're going to do is grab our scout this way. The main army is going to head over here. Scout's going to head this way. What it is a no-build mission that you can collect gold in order to get reinforcements. So what I'm going to do is distract... Oh yeah, and we have to destroy 2 villages to lure out the main army, and then we will fight it. So the way we're going to do this is first this guy goes into this little alcove. It's going to drop aggro. And then we're going to bring him over here. Then we swing in. We're going to activate the armor aura once the enemies make contact with melee. Oh no! Oh, my scout! He got distracted. Oh, I messed up. So what you normally want to do there is scout goes, grabs these monies, and then heads over here, grabs other money. I'm not going to be able to do that. I'm going to have to do a slightly slower backup strat, which is okay. I'm going to use Steve the Spearman. He's not as fast as his scout friend. Also, scouts basically don't do damage, so having scouts be the ones that do that kind of stuff is very nice. We have to torch the entire town, and once we torch the entire town, that'll be the trigger that lets us request reinforcements. Otherwise, we would just skip it. Archers don't do good damage, so it's a little bit of a slow process, but it's almost done. The houses don't have much HP, which is good. So there's going to be 2 triggers that happen, and the order seems completely random. Either A, a relief army will come for the king, or B, I will get the ability to get reinforcements, and then vice versa. And I seem to have no control over that. Alright, so this is all the money we can get with this guy because he's not a horse, which means that he can reconvene with the army, and we're going to head to the second town and start torching it. And then we're going to request a bunch of horsemen because they are, it's like really overtuned for some reason. All the other options that you can grab are pretty balanced, and then the horseman one is pretty cheap and gives you like 1 million guys. So we're just going to get it a bunch. Yeah, so the relief army spawned first, which is a bit annoying. But we got the horsemen 3 times, which just gives us this huge force. And they're going to go fight the relief army first, while these guys push into here. If I had the scout, he would have been over here and he would have grabbed these boxes during the fight. Instead, is he even gonna? Yeah, he got it.
Henry paid his ally in Tosny and received a regiment of soldiers.
We just want as many horses as possible. They're fast, so they can kind of get all this stuff. My archers are being dumb. They're attacking a bunch of buildings instead of moving forward. One thing I've noticed in this game is that the scan range of units seems to be about the same as their attack range. So if there's an enemy that's like one distance farther away, they just won't attack it if there's a house or something to kill, which is pretty bad. Okay, the relief army has been dealt with. Now what we're going to do is grab the infantry and start bringing it over here, while the horses burn down the town. This is because the horses are faster, so they can rendezvous, and we can save a little bit of time. Especially pertinent because we wasted time by losing our scout earlier. Small mistakes. Yeah, let's just torch all this. This is almost dead. Perfect. Just trying to get the damage distribution right. We can't just like set the buildings on fire and then wait, because it takes a while for the guy to come out of his little castle. And we want him to be fully out by the time that the knights arrive. Otherwise, we could just use the burning damage, which would have been cool. So one thing that's really annoying in this mission is that his army isn't here, right? And I was like, oh, can I bust this area? It turns out the answer is no. The defensive wall over here, you cannot reduce it past 125 HP. It just gets stuck there eternally. So it's kind of lame. It's not just that he has a super defended place, but he has like a super duper overpowered indestructible defended place. So now we're going to dive in. We have to kill Robert's entire army, not just him. So we're going to do that. Being able to fight in this little segment is nice. His units just aren't helping out. Now that we have such a big army, we can start to surround him and collapse. And then Robert himself is very tanky. So in order to make sure that he dies at about the same time as his army, I'm going to bring all these archers that I recruited near the very end and get them firing on him. Now these guys are kind of surrounding. They are not doing any DPS while they're doing that, so we're going to bring them over here. Robert's army is almost dead, and Robert himself is soon to follow. Not bad. Given that I lost the scout, I think that's a pretty solid time. Little optimizations that I could make for later. I like that mission. It flows very well. Why does it say that I have 58 workers? That's not right. 58 idle village. Oh, it's because I rescued all the guys in the castle because I took it over. That's kind of cool.
William the Conqueror's sons had resolved their long...
I wish there was a faster way to skip these cutscenes. You have to hold escape for a really long time, but if you hit escape too soon, then it pauses the game and then you lose time. It's not the best. Okay, it is the Battle of Creme Brulee. Is this the weird one? I think this is the weird one. This is actually the mission that inspired me to do this because it's so jank. And I came up with a really dumb strategy for it, assuming this is the mission that I think it is. I don't really know the order because as I said, I haven't done the full run. Yep, this is the mission I thought it was. Alright, so we got to get these villagers and send them over here. We're going to get these villagers and we're going to put them onto gold. And then we're going to get these villagers and have them kill sheep. You get 4 more workers. Head over here. And we need to tier up. This is the first time that we get to do any macro. So the way this mission works is there's a big death army that is going across the map. It's going to kill this base, and then head back here. Then it sends a little horrible force to attack this base, and that force can't do anything, and it never has been scary. So normally these guys are supposed to be evacuating, but we're not going to evacuate today. Instead, we're going to head up over here and start proxying. They're actually not going to be able to proxy for quite a while. Also, these guys... Oops. Get up here. We need 600 gold from these. This should be about 600. Oh, it's not even close. What am I doing? Or not 600. We need 500 gold from them. I have my hotkeys messed up. I need workers on here, workers on here.
All English hopes lay in
okay, now they have enough. We head over here. And just having everything in good position. This area is going to get overrun. I don't want the workers to die, so I'm going to hide them in this alcove that I found. The alcove also has 100 gold over it, and I need 600 gold. So I can just pick it up. Now we're looking for some trees over here. Here's this little gold.
The town of Granville succumbed to the
These are the
French,
two trees that are going to be
and the
very
English
important
were pushed
later.
back towards Fleury.
We're going to build a lumber mill here, and we're going to build a lumber mill here. Now those guys are mining lumber. This whole area is mining sheep, as they should. And we're going to need a lot of lumber, a lot of food, and a lot of gold. But not exactly in that order. So in order to get my tech up, I need... What is it, 1,200? No, it's, 1,200 food and 600 gold. And then after I get that, these guys are all going to stop mining food. That should be it. Oh, gosh. I'm routinely... Hey, mine! Routinely short. I messed up right there. Real bad. I'm not good at judging that yet. I'm trying to min-max it, but I just don't have the game knowledge to do that reliably. Eventually, that's one of those feelings that I'll get. Alright, so now we can get the White Tower, which is a keep. We're going to proxy it. This is going to increase our age to the castle age, which will be very good. And we're going to rally it, put it on our hotkeys. And at this point, we are close to being done with every macro except for unit building. These guys are safe, which is good. And you can see this is the army that we have to kill. It's pretty darn big. So the fastest way to do that, normally what you're supposed to do is defend here, and then you get some like reinforcements and stuff. You push up, you reclaim this town, and then macro off of 3 towns. I don't know, bases isn't the word for this game. You go 3 town macro into try to win, but we don't got time for that. So this takes forever to build. I don't exactly know how long. I wish they had like an ETA timer based on how many workers you had. That'd be really cool for multi-build stuff. And as a keep, it fires both arrows and has the ability to produce any type of unit. That I think is a unique thing to British keeps, but I might just be wrong. It also has a hidden ability that is, for some reason, the keep units that you can build don't have hotkeys, which is really obnoxious. But at the same time, I don't know the hotkeys in this game, so it actually isn't that much of a downside for me. So, like, look, there's just no hotkeys available. It's really dumb. What you gonna do? You can't get mad at me for being bad. So we are going to make some mangonels first, and then we are going to make a springald. I need probably 3 mangonels. Mangonel being a catapult, and the springald being bait. Or, I don't even know what it is. It is it's a ballista, I guess. It's a ballista. We're just defending attacks over here at the same time. These really don't matter. I'm pretty sure that we can't lose here. The king comes after this. Yeah, Henry comes to defend once all these guys are dead. We got 3 towers here. They're doing their thing. You know, they're pretty cool guys. And then we're going to start setting up the mangonels. And this area is very important, and I will be able to show you why. It is one of the first... Wow, that's a lot of stuff that they have. I hope we don't die. Because if you lose that base down there, you just lose. I need a little bit more wood. Unfortunately, with the economy, I can afford about 1.5 production buildings, which is kind of annoying. Because then you have to like remember to macro instead of being able to just get a cycle going. Okay, here's Henry.
At last, King Henry and his forces made their
I have to kill some of his guys so that we don't supply block, because we're not really going to get attacked after this. Alright, so now I am having money troubles, which is alright. We're going to get the springald to move over here. And I'm going to show you why this mission is so broken.
Knowing that King Louis himself
But it is finicky, and I'm not good at it. So we're going to push this way. We got to let them stay close enough that they're aggroed. And then pull this way. We have all the catapults ready to fire. And then we get a big save, which is a nice lag spike. And if you go too far this way, then it hits a reset point for them. And they just go, oh no, sir, I don't want to fight. I have to reset back home. And we're just going to do this forever. And we're going to kill the entire army with a bunch of catapults. Very, very slowly. It's actually not that slow. But I do have to be very careful to keep the Springald alive. It's fairly expensive. I tried using a villager or a scout, but it didn't have the durability to stay alive and the ranged attack to actually pull stuff properly. Like, there's a bunch of archer. Yeah, that was bad. So I'm gonna have to make another Springald here. This is definitely one of those things that could be easily improved, is figuring it out, how to get this micro perfectly. I'm sure there's a spot. Particularly though, once these archers are the ones fighting, it becomes a pain in the butt. Once the archers are dead, it stops being annoying. So we have to remake the Springald. I'm going to get my mangonels into a slightly better position while this is all happening. And hopefully 5 is going to be enough for now. I might even just blindly make another Springald just in case I lose it, to speed things up. Just as a safety strat. Now this mission usually like takes 12 or 13 minutes if you are trying to speedrun it the regular macro way. So this is a good time save. Because the army's huge if you're actually trying to fight it straight up. Like, it's ridiculous. It's just Mr. Springald is not the best micro. Oops. Oh, there we go. They're coming. Good. Alright. So we gotta pull them again. This is only a little bit of the army, which is actually kind of good. And one of the reasons we proxy the keep is because the keep has arrows, so he's firing during all of this, which is very nice. And yeah, we basically just have this invisible force field of death where they can't actually hit me. Maybe microing over here is good. There we go, it's happened. So this is the next bug that I found, is if you just do this enough, for some reason, the enemy AI just becomes like encased in glue, and they move really, really slowly for the rest of the mission. And I don't understand it, but as soon as it happens, the micro is a free win. It's like, oh, it reset. I've never seen it reset before. But it makes it so easy. As you can see, we are almost done. I don't know, I like this cheese. I'm glad that I found it. I'm kind of proud that I routed it out, and we just have to kill King Louis now. Oh, I guess we don't.
Far from home.
Yeah, good mission. So, next is another mission that is a little bit cray-cray. We're going to be doing like 4 different objectives at the same time. It's going to be fun. The Battle of Lincoln. Loading times are very long in this game. Any loading time is a long loading time. I'm so impatient, especially when you're speedrunning, man. You don't want to spend 10 minutes on a loading screen. I used to have a hard drive that was so bad that many games would just crash during the loading screen. They were actually unplayable. It would just time out. Those were the good days. Get an SSD, people. Alright, so what we have to do is we got to bring everybody here, and then we have to hold position so that it triggers the next part of the mission. So we hold position. Now this is going to start the whole ambush part of the game, where we have to ambush 3 groups of patrolling units, and that will give us a set of reinforcements. And then we have to kill a market town, and that'll give us reinforcements. And then we have to find some Welsh guys, and they'll help us out. And then we head over here, and we fight the last boss, etc., etc. And we win. Well, he's not the last boss of the campaign, but he's the last boss of the mission. We are going to be doing multiple things at once by bringing these scouts over to trigger the Welsh allies, which will be pretty fun. Now, what happens with this trigger is that the Welsh boys will spawn infinitely if you're not over here to fight, and so will their opponents. They'll just kind of be a cinematic experience. But if you bring the horsies over to them, it's like, oh, you're here. The cinematic experience is done, people stop respawning, and this event will end. Hopefully with a Welsh victory.
Robert defeated the first column of Stephen's reinforcements.
So we're going to head this way.
More were on the way.
We're not doing the ambush thing, by the way. We are just bull rushing them, which is actually like way more effective than the ambush, because stealth in this game is really jank and just doesn't work very well. But it turns out that men-at-arms just shanking people with their longswords is really good. Alright, so these are scouts. Scouts suck. I'm not going to fight with them. They're instead just going to nice and watch the battle. We're going to surround with men-at-arms. Not entirely sure how unit movement works in this game. It kind of feels to me like units... Oh, you do not want to be fighting here, boys. Get a little bit of a speed boost when they have a specific unit they're going after, like they start jogging. But I don't know for sure. And it seems like it's only when they're close. I think it seems like one of those things that could definitely be maximizable.
More of Stephen's reinforcements eliminated.
So we're going to head up here to the third area, and the Welsh have won their fight. So we're going to head over here to trigger the Welsh to start moving up towards the next defensive garrison. I need the Welsh to actually bust this next area, because there's a lot of enemies over there. I just want them to be in position by the time that I am ready, and they are slow Welshmen. Let's see if we can take down any of these archers. Yeah, there's a very low HP one there. The scouts might be able to do that. They don't do much damage, but they do some damage. Oh gosh, it's so bad. So this is the final convoy that I have to take down. Should be a pretty easy fight. We just want to get on top of the archers. They are a lot more vulnerable than everything else. Also, the archers have this little like retreat thing that they like to do once their front line is gone. So if you can surround them, then it doesn't waste my melee unit's time. Yeah, they do this kind of thing. It's like some pre-made splitting. And it just requires time to chase down. So this is where we're going to stage our next assault. The Welsh are getting into position very nicely. Now we head over here.
Robert's men decimated King Stephen's reinforcements and were poised.
Now there's a couple different ways to do this part, or this mission. I've actually been kind of playing with them. I find this mission very fascinating because you don't actually have to do this reinforcement part. Instead, if you send all your guys past this stuff through the bush in the beginning, you can get over here very quickly, and that'll get you a base to macro. And I'm not sure if getting the huge number of reinforcements for free and bringing them over is faster or slower than the macro. That is one of those things that'll have to be left to the test of time to figure out. I'm just waiting for these guys to be in position. Okay, they are. So now I'm actually going to start them fighting. Good luck, my friends. You're going to die. But you're going to die for a good cause. Me. Push them over here, get on top of this. I don't entirely understand the trigger for getting the horse reinforcements from this. I think that we have to kill the army, and then we have to take out the market, but we don't have to kill the houses. That seems to be the way that it works. Is that true? Looks like we have to kill another house. I know that you don't have to kill all the houses all the time, because I have definitely not killed all the houses before. But maybe today we do have to kill all the houses. Oh, okay, we just have to kill 2 of the houses. Why not? It's a very weird trigger that I should figure out. So now everything is heading up here, and the Welsh are actually going to lose this fight. However, the enemies are so weakened that it'll be worth it. It is faster than waiting for the Welsh. Or, it's faster than fighting with them, basically. Much better to fight half an army. And these archers are actually going to do a really good job because the enemy AI is so stupid that they just can't pull their stuff to fight. This is because the archers are the ones that are actually creating these palings. And while they have that, they're stuck on hold position. So that's how we're basically abusing the enemy a little bit. I don't know what these archers are doing. They're just charging forward. That's a bit annoying. I wish they wouldn't do that. I could try to use my scouts right here to burn down that Springald to give them aid. Oh, who are you? Weird. That's new and different. Oh, that's a patrol that I didn't kill. Of course. I remember. Get the knights killing this stuff. This is not super fast. They're like in really good position. Well, That definitely cost me a little bit of time, but it's not the end of the world. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring the knights in. The scouts are going to target down the Springald because scouts do really good damage against siege units, or rather all units seem to do the same amount of damage against siege units in this game. They have a torch attack, which means that the scout that can't deal damage to anything else is fairly good against it. So we're going to put the infantry over there. Get the knights to target down all of this stuff, and now that Springald is down, we want the scouts to head over here. This is for a good reason. Alright, the blockade has been cleared. Now the objective is going to be enter the town. This trigger is a bit funky, so just kind of having a bunch of guys entering the town seems to be the best way to do it. I know that sounds really dumb, but like if you enter with a couple units, then there we go. It can go kind of bad. Now we have control over this area, so I can destroy these gates, and that's going to make it faster for my units to get over here. I'll be honest, I didn't route that. I just thought of it right now, and I feel kind of clever. So now we have a base to be macroing out of. We're mostly not going to do that. We're just going to pump a bunch of whatevers, get you guys working on wood and wood, longbowmen, and just start pushing through these 3 objectives. The final objective guy is actually spawned right now, and I found that if you kill him too early, you can actually soft lock the game. I believe that if you kill him right now, it just requires you to clear these camps. But I was doing some stuff before where I didn't do the ambush section and stuff and skipped through, and it just would soft lock me out. And it'd just be like, yeah, you're not able to finish this mission anymore, even though everybody's dead. Congratulations. So I'm not going to do that this time. A group of enemies attacked over here, and then the game saved, which caused a bunch of lag, and I was unable to save them, which is one of those things that I really appreciate. Really cool game. This is good, though, because these enemies here are part of the central camp defenders, so they're being shot by my towers and stuff. Everybody within range of a tower, as long as there's an enemy in range, all of my units in range get a bonus to attack speed. So pulling enemies into the towers is really good. It's not super viable on this mission because the enemies like resetting a lot, even though they're supposed to be sieging me. It's all kind of weird.
King Stephen's army dwindled.
And once again, no hotkey on this because I have a keep that's producing, which is supposed to be obnoxious, but I really can't complain because I literally don't know what the archer hotkey is in this game. I think it's like E, or maybe it's A, I don't know. It's longbowmen, not archers, so it's probably not L because I don't remember complaining about having to reach that far, and I definitely would have been upset if I had to. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring this little guy down here, and this is going to trigger the final boss to start walking up earlier, so that I can actually engage him once I am ready, instead of waiting. So here's his little army. Oh, these guys pulled back in a really obnoxious way. That's not good. Where's the last defender over here? Oh, I'm very confused. That's not good.
The king's army was scattered, and those who didn't fall fled.
Oh, we got it. Okay. So now what we want to do is we want to pull King Stephen before his army gets over here, so that he doesn't have his defenders. And we want to use the range units to target him down. We pulled some enemies into the tower radius, which activates the attack speed bonus, so we get more damage on King Stephen. And we focus fire him. Get everything targeting. Got him. There's a whole lot of ways to take this mission, and I'm pretty sure that I don't have the right one. But I am aware of the different ones, and it's a cool mission as a result. So many different potential paths. Alright, 3 more missions. And they're all pretty simple. The next 2 are going to be very similar, and that is just fine with me. And then the final one will kind of be the big macro mission. Oops. Oh no, I did the wrong... I let go of escape too early because I had to burp. Oh, that was a mistake. I'm so... Now I've lost like 3 seconds worth of my life. So Wallingford is another quote-unquote defense mission that actually just has a very early and easy way to win it, which is exciting. Okay. So what we got to do is remember my build order. It's not like a complicated build order, but it is a build order. Gonna get you to build this. Then we want that built. And we gotta find you and you and you. Put them over here. You guys all head over to this, and then we are going to use the market to buy a couple food, buy a couple wood. And we need to start building archers en masse. Archer is Q, apparently. Probably because I just queued a bunch up. Right, so now what we're going to do is, if we kill these 4 outposts, it teleports to the final attack. So we're going to go do that. And I'm just going to spam Infinity Longbowmen because they seem to give the best cover. Longbowman is a unique British unit, and it seems like it is the best unit that they have. It's just very good. They also get like a empowered man-at-arms or whatever, but who cares about that? Bows. Oh, they got these guys torching it. That's not good. We don't want to lose these rams. They're very important for clearing speed. Doesn't really matter how much HP they have as long as they don't die. And on top of these guys, just keep pulling units into the longbows to fight. The the battering rams don't actually take very much damage from ranged, so they can do some serious tanking, which is very nice. As long as you keep the melee away. I just unhotkeyed those guys unceremoniously. That was the wrong move. Now we're going to move over here. We're going to start pulling. We really don't want them to fight the battering rams. We want them to walk right past and use these walls as a defensive tool, basically.
Hoping to claim Wallingford.
Now the enemy is going to be attacking at the same time, and I'm just going to kind of ignore it because they can't kill me, I don't think. I believe if I set the rally right there for my longbowmen, then I'll have enough longbow to finish off the mission and to defend at the same time. And then they can just join up for the final attack. So one thing that I'm sure people will ask is, why don't you put guys into the rams? You can put up to 16 guys in the rams, and for some reason it doesn't like make them go any faster or anything. It just makes them safe. It's like really bad, and I don't know why you'd ever do it. I'm pretty sure it's just objectively worse than having your guys cover the rams.
The enemy line wavered.
It's very weird. I understand the idea behind it, but the practice seems to be a bit subpar. Alright, so get these guys on top of this. We're going to march these forward very slowly, apparently attack a wall. Like, they load in, and if they just had these units not loaded in, they'd be a lot better off. Straight up. Okay, there's one more tower left with a little bit of defenders. Just try to cover these longbowmen. How you guys doing? You guys are doing great. They're actually moving back to build another ram, which is good for me, because they're just not going to do anything while they're doing that. They're going to let me pick them off very, very easily. Oh, we don't want these guys fighting. Oh, we're getting flanked too. This is potentially bad. Oh good, they're really bad aggro mechanics are making them reset. Perfect. So the final attack wave most of the time seems to spawn in the center, but it doesn't always. It's definitely spawned a couple times in the not center, which was a nice little surprise for me, but I'm just going to assume that it does spawn in the center this time. It does come with siege units, and my guys are very bad against siege units, so I'm going to pull all my workers to help target them down. Because for some weird reason, my workers are better against siege units than my other stuff. So where's that final wave? This is not the final wave, I'm 99% sure.
And pushed into Wallingford. Matilda's men
guess we'll
needed
fight
to
them.
repel the enemy before the castle fell, and their cause was lost.
So
Hoping to crack the mighty stone walls of Wallingford, King Stephen's forces
I don't know what these guys are
launched another
doing.
attack.
I'm just going to delete those rams because it's like causing the enemy to go off on an adventure, and I don't want them to do that. Ah, here it is. Here's the final attack wave. So, bows, get ready, and we target it down. And then there should be siege units with it. What is this doing? I'm so confused. Why is it charging into... It's a siege tower. It doesn't do damage. It just drops off people. Alright. If I have to kill this, I'm going to be really upset. Because this is going to take forever. Oh no. No, it's fine. It stopped moving. I thought it was just going to run all the way over here. Alright, that's dead, and that is dead.
Matilda's forces
Is that everything?
held firm against the attack, cutting down the enemy soldiers.
Perfect. Well, that went a little bit not quite as planned, but it was okay. Alrighty. Next mission is going to be very similar to this. It is another time defense mission, but if you kill their base, then they just lose. And their base is 4 buildings. Which is, it's weird. I'm not sure it's like the dig in StarCraft 2, but they just forgot to make the enemy actually have a good base. But you gotta be fast because once you start it, like everything they have gets pulled. So you kind of have to burn down those 4 buildings in record time. So in order to do that, we are going to make 3 rams this time. 3 rams is more than 2. And we're going to get the ram speed upgrade. Isn't that exciting? No, it's not. To each their own. Alright, get everyone here. Go ram, 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 and then get them actually building. And then we need siege speed, and we need armor and attack. And then, oh, we gotta get this ram building. And then we need defensive upgrades over here so we don't get base traded and eliminated. Oh, and then of course, I'm supposed to get archer upgrade, so I have better archers. So they're going to start attacking me fairly soon. I have to be ready for that. Get all of these rallies to about right here. And I'm actually not really going to make that much of this mission because it's just a get ready to go type thing. We need to finish this ram though. I'm not entirely sure how ram production works. Sometimes it seems like it just takes a really long time to produce rams, and other times it's pretty fast. I'm sure that I'm messing something up because it's built with units instead of workers, which is, rams are weird. Alright, so it looks like they're trying to build a ram out there as well. We're going to have to fight through this push, and while we're doing that, we are going to just bring the rams forward. Hopefully they don't take too much damage. If they absorb crossbow bolts, that's actually ideal. And then we're going to try to like stutter step our way forward so that we can actually catch up with these apparently very swift boys, because we got that 35% increased movement speed. Now they're sieging through my base, whatever. I don't got time to care about that. Okay, this is almost gone. I have some towers and stuff, it'll be fine. We're also getting attacked up here, and we will die if we take too long, so we are not going to do that. Okay, army is selected. These are going to start busting their way through this. Because this tower hits really hard. It shoots for 60, and my units have 130 HP, like that. So we gotta be a bit careful about it. But it doesn't have a melee attack. Now we gotta start moving in. There's going to be a group of defenders inside of the base that we need to kill, and then we are not going to fight the enemies if at all possible. Because they're scary. We're going to set up camp, which gives 1 HP per second regen to the longbowmen. It's not huge, but it's definitely something. Don't take that out of context. And then we're going to keep pushing. We should be fine on this side. Yeah, they're building up their next attack. We researched the improved Springald for these towers, which means... Oh, they're dead. That's fine. Now the cavalry are coming to reinforce. What I want to do is not actually fight them, but just make sure they're targeting my archers instead of my battering rams. The battering rams are going to try to finish stuff off. For some reason, we start with the incendiary arrows upgrade on this mission, which means that we do a bunch of damage to buildings with archers. I think it's because it also increases damage against siege units, and this is a defense map, so they want you to be able to defend against them. We hit the rapid fire ability, which we have on this mission, and we are done. That is the second to last mission. There's going to be one more. Alrighty, righty. Oh, there's two more missions. I forgot. I forgot about Rochester. Which one is Rochester? Oh no, it's probably really fast, right?
To the defense of Dover.
Oh no, I know this mission. I remember. I practiced this mission like 3 times, so I completely forget it exists because it's really easy. And it's like impossible to fail. Good. I really hope there's not another mission that I forgot about. You can tell that I'm very experienced with this. I really just wanted to showcase this. So first I want to send the scout forward. That's going to pull the enemies so that we can get them killed a little bit quicker. We have a mix of units here. I'm not entirely sure how to use them most effectively, so I just kind of fight over here. We got some crossbows who are pretty bad. Then we got this guy who's like looking at some barrels. They did that retreat thing, which is always really annoying. I think what I need to do, like if I were to truly want to min-max this, which I don't think I do, I'm more interested in the like initial routing than anything else, is to leave some of the melee units alive. Okay, we gotta get these here, and then we want 3 here. A monk goes here, and then a monk goes here, and then the rest of these villagers are going to build a mill right here. And the mill lets us build better stuff. Or rather, it lets us get food. And the army is going to head out this way. We need to hunt these deer. And then we need to get a bunch of food so we can tier up our tech again. I don't think that building any workers is correct in this, and our monks are capturing sacred sites. Sacred sites give you a gold income over time. Very, very important. You need to build a lumber camp right here. And then we're going to get this monk over here to do the same thing. There's a couple wolves over here which will kill him, so we gotta send the army to help him. This guy has grabbed this sacred site, so we're gonna send him over here to where another one is. And we're going to try to use that supplementary gold income from having the sacred sites to mean that we don't need gold for a bit.
King John's men discovered that the
there are trader convoys here, and they are definitely worth busting. We have this army, and we might as well use it. We just need to make sure not to lose the villager. That's very, very important. So we need 1,600 food, and then we need to start mining gold. So we're going to get the mining camp. Be prepared. Kill this guy. And now everyone turn it in. Grab whatever's here. That's 400 stone. Not that useful. I wish they started you with a market so I could actually sell the stuff that I have, but they don't. Theoretically, I could build one. There's definitely some build order stuff that could be optimized here. I'm going to head over here. And now we need to get, I think it's $1,200 to... Oh, that's bad. Oh, don't want my ranged units in the front. We just want to kill these traders for their money. Yeah, it is 1,200. It's 1,600, 1,200 to get to the Imperial Age here. It's not the same price as it is in multiplayer, which is a bit weird. Whichever one doesn't matter. And during all this, we're going to get a second siege works. And at this point, we want this person. We mined too much food, so we're actually going to power out a couple more lumbers. Pick up the chest, which is 400 stone again. Oh, that sucks. I think it's random what resource you get. And we have gotten the useless resource twice in a row, which is cool. please. 400 lumber. That's all right. And let's hope that we can get something good this time. Crossbowman pull back. So now I need a lot of gold. It's 600 gold and 300 wood per trebuchet. Oh gosh, we're actually starting to lose our army here in a pretty significant way, which is potentially really bad. Things didn't quite work out in the order that I was hoping. These horsemen are not part of the escort group, I believe. They just happen to be another group of horsemen that found... Okay, this is getting a bit ridiculous. There's too many. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Yeah, in practice, this didn't happen. Ever. So, hopefully we win this, and it goes okay. Oh gosh, we have so much wood now. Not really useful. I'm going to be a little bit safer. Oh my gosh, it's just more wood. I'm never getting gold.
With the traders eliminated, the king's army had struck a blow.
So unfortunate.
With supplies critically low, the rebel commander discharged his weakest fighters, hoping to preserve what little food remained.
That doesn't really help. I was effectively trading army quality to roll for better stuff, and it didn't work. I'm in such bad shape because I don't care about the units in the base at all.
If the rebels lost access to the food supplies,
careful.
Some of them would be forced to flee.
So I'm going to have to get all the way up to 4 trebuchets, I think, which normally I'd want to go with about 3. However, I need higher DPS because what's going to happen is I'm going to charge up here, start sieging the place while I use my army as a buffer, and it's not going to work too well because I don't have much of an army. Normally you have enough with 3 to DPS the castle down beforehand, but we don't have that luxury today, so I'm gonna be a little safe and not sorry. Because the huge legions that come out might find the siege works. And if they do, then I am dead. And this is one of the longer missions, so I don't want to have to redo it. We're gonna get another one queued. And then hopefully this lady can repair. There's no, like, follow command in this game as far as I'm concerned, which is annoying. Oh, dude! I missed. He was supposed to be on the sacred site, and I just forgot. I had him near. That is also a mistake, because the sacred site gives me gold. And I would be in a much better position if I had that gold. Alright, we gotta be prepared, and it is time to go. So this little alcove right here is the safe space for the trebuchets. Put these over here, this over here. And then set up and start firing. The enemies are probably coming out. I don't know what happens when these relief forces from finishing that quest don't come. I don't know if they make an impact at all. No, it doesn't look like it. This looks like about the same amount of stuff. So as you can see, we're not going to win this fight. We just have to hope that we live long enough. This lady's going to start repairing this guy to out-heal all the archers that are firing upon it. And it's really close. It's got about 1,800 more HP left. The trebuchets do not fire quickly, but they do fire from half a mile away. Done. We got it. So, not the perfect execution. A little bit of bad luck, but it worked out fine. One more mission. Ooh, this is kind of fun. I don't know, I said this earlier, but just being the one to route out this stuff and figure it all out for my own has been really enjoyable. I'm really kind of, like, I'm sure that none of these are the actual ultimate super strategy, but they're my strategies, and I'm pretty happy with them. I came up with a speed strat for every mission in this campaign in 2 days, as someone who doesn't play the game. Except for I've skirmished a couple times against the AI, and I've played through the campaigns once. Okay, the Second Battle of Lincoln. Now my strat here is longbows. This is a weird mission. I actually think it's got a pretty terrible design. So what we do is we grab all these. We hotkey this. We're going to get another archery range. And then we're going to start pushing over here. There are two sets of rebels. Or no, there's one set of rebels and two French camps that have to be destroyed. And we're going to do that. Oh yes, and then we have to destroy this wall. Because an integral part of the speedrun apparently is destroying your own buildings. At least as far as I know. Reason being is they give you all these walls, but they're put in these terrible positions that really just get in your way. So the way this works is it's supposed to be a 6-minute defense segment, and then you get William Marshall to come help you. And once you do that, it is much easier to fight. He brings a bunch of knights, he's a hero unit, and then he rescues a town on his way, which allows you to start macroing in a meaningful way. However, we don't really have that luxury right here because we're on the clock. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pressure forward, try to kill the rebels off, and then move on to the French bases without him. The problem is that this means that I can only harvest lumber, and I can't build most structures, because you need a town hall for that. Oh, we want to take this. We got the money on the ground. All these are dead. Perfect. All right, we're doing well. We have the incendiary arrows upgrade again, which makes us very good against stuff. Also, the thing I forgot to mention is we are capped at 70 supply because you can't build a house without a town center in this game, which I think is a little bit weird, but whatever. Okay, I got a nice little parting shot on that. That should be enough to make sure that the towers kill it. If we lose the keep, we die. So you gotta be a little bit careful about that, but at the same time, don't want to spend too much time thinking about it. So one thing that I've noticed is that the archers do a lot of overkill, and I probably need to be more careful about that if I were to, like, maximizing the DPS and their split shots and stuff is probably really important. I'm not really good at that though. It's just things that I'm thinking about as I was trying to maximize. I do it a little bit, but I'm definitely no pro. Alright, so then we head over here. And we target down this military building. That is going to completely mute the powers of the rebels. That's the most important part. I don't want to send my melee guys over here because it'll pull the... from the rebels' French allies. It'll pull the defenders. The king's army had almost regained control of the city. And this is going quite well. Alright. So there's 2 French people to kill, and then we will be good. I have 300 stone, so I think I'm going to spend it to upgrade this tower. As you can see, because I have this one lumber mill, and that's the only place I can return resources, that's why I blew up these walls. And they actually do something really funny. I'll be able to show it off in a sec. They walk up the wall, and then they, like, jump down to return their wood. Which is really stupid. I don't know why they can do that, but I find it pretty funny. Alright, this is doing well, this is doing well. We head over here. I tried some weird strats in this, like proxying rams and stuff, but it didn't really work because the French bases are really well defended. So I just opted for this very clean, make a bunch of units, walk them around, but I feel like there's probably some fancy stuff you can do. I tried like proxying buildings behind the base that's over here. And it kind of worked, but it meant that all my workers had to go do it, and garrison, it was weird. There's going to be a mangonel over here, the AoE catapult. What I need to do is snipe it before it fires. Nope. Didn't get it. Alright, so we can drop the little fire thing upgrade. And that'll heal my guys up slowly. I want to make sure not to lose them though, because at this point my reinforcements aren't really timely. I'm mostly losing men-at-arms here, which is okay. Now I have no front line, which does kind of suck. My archers are going to start getting sniped real quick. This base is moderately well defended. A lot of their defenders aren't pulling, though. So we're just going to focus on taking down their towers over here while they're not fighting. And then for the final base, we're going to get Mr. Horseman, and he's going to help us out. He's not actually a centaur, but that would be cooler. So these guys are coming this way. This is good. I'm gonna reset that rally. We're actually just gonna bust through this wall. It's hard to click on walls in this game. It's one thing that I find very obnoxious is if you have units next to a thing, there's like a smart selection system. Except for the problem with it is it's not smart. It's just really dumb. And it makes life a lot harder than it has to be. So what I want to have right now is a good supply coming into William Marshall's being spawned. This is because he's going to give me... Oh gosh, a bunch of French people. He's going to give me a bunch of knights, and that's going to supply block me. Normally you rescue a town, and that gives you, I think, up to 200 supply. The problem is that rescuing of the town is really inconsistent. When I move command him over here, sometimes the trigger activates and sometimes it doesn't. So basically, in 8 seconds, whatever I have is going to be what I have for the rest of the mission. So I want it to be as much as possible. But we've done a pretty good job with that. Okay, Willie is here.
The King's Knight, William Marshall, arrived.
Unfortunately, he spawns exactly on the wrong side of the map. However, there's 2 mangonels at the area that I want to push. Oh, I see. That's why those French guys attacked me, is because I had a bad rally. So what happened is there's a little outpost here. There was guys in it, yes. And I put these reinforcements into my attack group and then sent them on an attack move with the rest of my guys. So they locked onto that and they started pulling guys out of it. That was my mistake. Little things you can learn. So it looks like I did grab this place. That means my reinforcements are going to keep building up. However, anybody that is built at this point is not going to be able to get over here by the end. Actually, one thing that might be worth trying is just setting a bunch of horsemen to be built, because horsemen do move faster. Maybe one will be able to come here and reinforce. And if this is timed out correctly, I should be getting to near the enemy base at the same time that my knights show up. There's going to be a little outpost over here. We're going to clear it out, and then it'll just be a straight ramp up to the enemy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kill the defenders here, but I'm not going to kill the tower that has people garrisoned in it. Because why would I? They stay garrisoned in the tower and then they don't chase me. Perfect. So everything runs past. And then the only scary thing and the only big time loss that we can have is if the enemy mangonel catapults get really, really good shots on my units. William Marshall has a speed boost ability. It's off cooldown, but I'm saving it so that I can connect with the mangonels really quickly. These are springolds. I don't care about them as much. The archers can kill them. I hit the speed boost, and then I dive those catapults with extreme prejudice. Yeah, we got inside the minimum range. They didn't get to fire. They didn't get to do a lot of damage. Actually, look at that. They did a ton of damage. And we're just going to try to provide support fire with the archers now, while the knights hopefully can kill a lot of stuff. Knights are very, very strong. One of the strongest units in the game. And we have to gut this, and then we will be done. So, how good is this speedrun? I think it's moderately fun. I don't think it's the greatest thing ever, but I do think that it really, really, really benefits from the fact that the enemy AI is really dumb, and you can manipulate it in various ways. I'm sure that if anybody really gets into this kind of speedrun, that they will be able to find a ton of different ways to get the AI to do some pretty kooky stuff and then save time based off of that, which would be really interesting to me. I'd like to see it. So this is the de facto world record, just off of the fact that no one else has run this game in entirety yet. People have done individual levels, but nothing else. And I guess that is me signing this off. 1 hour, 13 minutes, and 58 seconds. Pretty fun run. Thank you guys for watching. I know this is a little bit different than the content I normally make, but hopefully it isn't so far away and so weird that it is unenjoyable, because these last couple days I have enjoyed figuring it out. This is just the ending credits, right? I need to make sure. I hope so. Yeah, okay, cool. All right, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a great day, and peace.